Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is the last day of the month, but the first day of the week, August 31st, 2017, and welcome to yet another edition of the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. What a day it shall be. Just returning from Virginia with our coverage of the MEAC Media Day 2017. We'll go over some of that. Today's show is going to be more of a recap, comparison, I guess, and looking ahead for what's in store here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And football season definitely in the air. We're also going to touch on SWAC volleyball, as this season will be kicking off just as football, and our recap of the dig and everything. So we are locked, loaded, ready to go for yet another morning edition of the Mike Prince Show. Good morning to each and every one. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and we are mighty, mighty glad to be a part of your day on this lovely day here, August 31st, 2017. And man, what a trip and a half did we have in Norfolk, Virginia. It took a while to get there, but we eventually got there. You talking about going over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. My journey began on Thursday morning. I do want to apologize for Thursday morning. We had some type of hiccup in our programming, but I do encourage you to go and check out the Mike Prince Show, which was going to be serial number 072717. It's a very wonderful and enlightened interview with Dr. Charles McCullen of Texas Southern, and we'll probably try to touch on that a little bit because it really opened my eyes up to some things, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But back to this journey of a trip. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but a journey of a trip indeed it was. My morning started out at 3 a.m. to get off to the airport in enough time so you can make sure, I do live in the country, and you go to the big city, and we were able to get there securely, and that was just the beginning of what would be an adventurous day. Our first flight took off at 7 a.m. from Houston to Charlotte. From Charlotte, there was a flight to Baltimore. Then from Baltimore, there was a flight to Philadelphia. And then finally, from Philadelphia, we ended up in Norfolk, Virginia. Now, I don't understand what's the point of even booking a flight from Baltimore to Philadelphia. 22 minutes was the total time of the flight. It took us longer to get onto the plane than to actually fly from Baltimore to Philadelphia. But nonetheless, we got there in time and everything worked out great. The trip returning was not nearly as complicated, but it was adventurous because there was a big delay on the plane coming in and out. And we were, as I said, boot scooting across the terminal to get to where we need to get to. But we did make it in time, and what a wonderful, wonderful trip it was. When we come back, we will go in a little bit more detail about our adventure in Norfolk, Virginia on the coverage for the SWAC Media Day. We're going to actually have that entire broadcast release. We did go live on Friday, and we normally have that show posted up to follow up that same day, but due to the impact of this particular show, dynamic show, great from beginning to end. We'll get more into that when we return. You are listening to Monday Morning Edition of the Mike Prince Show. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm LaTonya Chapel. I am a proud graduate of Prairie View A&M University. I am the local agent for Farmers Insurance here in Hempstead, Texas, waiting to handle your insurance needs. Here at the Chapel Agency, we offer affordable and reliable insurance for your auto, home, life, or business all across Texas. We believe in taking care of our customers like family. We will help you find the right combination of personalized insurance coverage at just the right price to fit your needs. So come on down and meet our friendly staff or give us a call at 979-826-3026. Again, 979-826-3026.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network is a community-based radio station that was established in 2002. We have been dedicated to local, regional, and community programming with coverage for high school, collegiate sports, ministries, and information. Our goal is to provide quality, productive, and positive programming that reflects the community that we serve. Visit our website, ktorradio.com and OBN-Radio.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mike Prince Show. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is OBN-Radio. And don't forget, our low-tech app is simply a phone number that you can lock in on your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, with the exception if there's a leap year, and, of course, 366 days. That number is 605-477-5066. Once again, 605-477-5066. And we are recapping our Media Day coverage for the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, which was past Friday. And, man, a great setup from beginning to end. And Dr. Dennis Earl Thomas, Commissioner of the MEAC, I want to thank him very much for the opportunity of the extended coverage in the broadcast. He's very animated and very, very receptive were all of the participants of the MEAC Media Day. Like I stated, it was a very nice, professional layout. Not that the SWACs is not nice and professional, but man, what a great experience and pleasantry it was to be a part of that. And it looks like if everything plays out according to the powers that be, that this would be a new developing relationship that we're ever so embracing. And everything was just exceptionally well, which led me to be very thankful for what this network is able to do and how it's able to do what it does, because we have a love for HBCUs, just as many of you that listen to this broadcast and many other broadcasts that are geared toward the same goal. And everybody has their style and their flavor, which what makes this market so intriguing, if you're asking me. And with all that being said, you have an opportunity to shed highlights on a brand of athletics and a culture of universities that, in my honest personal opinion, that does not get all the love that should get. And anytime that we can get a chance to highlight and be a part of extending that coverage and broadening the horizon for any of these conferences, whether it's the SWAC, MEAC, SIAC, the Gulf Coast, any of them, we are more than willing and ready to be participants to help carry out that mission. So it was very, very intriguing. Met some interesting and positive figureheads with the MEAC connection, if you will. And also got to thank Brother Ryan McGinty for his abilities and possibilities of putting us in position to get this off the ground. And it was a very, very, very great experience. And so being in comparison, there's always a comparison, and you compare, and you don't want to compare to that and the likes. And let me say it inside and out. I am a SWAC product, and I am very proud to be a part of the Southwest Athletic Conference and the coverage that we bring for the conference in all sports, just as we are developing here at the MEAC. And speaking of MEAC, Brother Jay, who, of course, is a Howard Bison and ESPN figurehead, he was talking a little noise up there. I know he was amongst his brethren and sisters, so we'll give him a pass on there. But I have to remind OJ next time we get together that, I heard you talking your talk. But what a great environment. There was a banquet after the actual press conference, well, not the press conference, but the media day. We're able to talk with all 11 coaches and player representatives, a total of 34 interviews, if you count players, coaches, and the commissioner. And one thing that I appreciate about both Dr. Thomas and Doris Sharp is their openness and their candidness, at least towards us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And I can only handle people and make an assessment on people on how we are being handled from my end. I can't speak for anyone else, nor do I try to speak for anyone else. And one thing about this business, it is a great opportunity to open up and get deeper and better understandings about what's going on and how things are going on. But in the same preference, you have to be able to ask some of the challenging questions, some of the tough questions, not that you're trying to cast any shade or any hating on anybody, but sometimes you just got to ask those questions, and that's why, at least for this network, that's why we do what we do. But everybody was upfront, candid, receptive about everything that's going on, and it was truly, truly a great joy to be a part of it. And speaking of being candid and receptive for what's going on, we are going to come back and touch a little bit on a conversation that we had with Dr. Charles McCullen, and how, I got to be honest, it opened my eyes to some things to get me to see a little bit better. And that's why you do these things, because you don't want to be stuck on perception, because your perception is not always the reality. And that we'll talk about in a little bit more detail when we return from this break. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show on Monday morning, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Penny Lucas White, head women's volleyball coach at the Alabama State University. I'm calling to inform you that volleyball kickoff date for all SWAC teams are August 25th. We also will have our first SWAC roundup that will be hosted by Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas on September 22nd through the 24th. Then it will be followed up with the second roundup of the SWAC in Montgomery, Alabama on October 20th through the 22nd on the campus of Alabama State University. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network is a community-based radio station that was established in 2002. We have been dedicated to local, regional, and community programming with coverage for high school, collegiate sports, ministries, and information. Our goal is to provide quality, productive, and positive programming that reflects the community that we serve. Visit our website, ktorradio.com and OBN-Radio.com.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, reminding you to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy, and Instagram is OBN Radio. And don't forget, we do have a message line where you can dial in, leave your information, comments, questions, even talk a little noise. Football season is here, so you know how people get when they get to talking about their alma maters or their current schools in this football season. And that number is 713-570-6736, 713-570-6736. As we were talking before the break, Thursday's show was a little snag, but we were able to redistribute that, and you can go to the website at OBN-Radio.com, and you can go to our talk show page and go to Mike Prince Show Archives, and it will bring you up to a page on Spreaker.com, and you will actually see the show for July the 27th, and very candid interview with Dr. Charles McCullough, talking about the new television deal that was for the Texas Southern Tigers, and what was once known as Root Television, which is now AT&T Sportsnet, and talking to them, and anybody that ever goes and listens to this program and any other program and knows that there has been a general concern across the board about seats being filled in these stadiums. And when we were discussing with Dr. McCullough, and he so beautifully explained why they're doing what they're doing. This is the 5th year for Texas Southern having their own exclusive television deal, which by far is always good to get on television, but the argument had been, at least from, if you allow me to say this, from the common Joe's vantage point, is why would you continue to have your games on these broadcasts, or on these television broadcasts, when the seats are not being filled in the actual games? And the answer was very twofold, and it made all the sense in the world. And here is a summary. You can go and hear this exclusively yourself out of the mouth of Dr. McCullough himself, but in summary, this is what was said. You have so many amount of sponsors and so many number of sponsors, and anytime that you can get your sponsor's message on television, that increases your revenue. And so with that being said, understood that and acknowledge the fact that, yes, maybe, just maybe, we're not getting all the seats that we could to come to the actual games, because they have all these options of watching the game on their devices or on their personal televisions or whatever. But he was so straightforward. He said they believe that part of that challenge is they have not been producing a quality product. If you produce a quality product, the people will come. And I appreciate that, because that was pretty much taking the bull by the horn and saying, hey, it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be until we change that perception. And with all that being said, we went a little bit further talking about the possibilities of the Labor Day Classic between the Tigers and the Panthers of Prairie View being changed, because of the impact of that game. They said they looked around and kicked the can around a couple of times, but as of right now, they're going to let it be what it be and let it do what it do because of the significance all the way around with that game. So a very intriguing conversation with Dr. Charles McCullough, and I'm pretty sure that you would appreciate it. Go and check that thing out. It is the Mike Prince Show from July 27th, 2017, and very, very enlightening and good show from, at least from our vantage point, from what we understood. We are going to get ready for yet another quick break, and when we come back from this break, we'll talk about the Tuskegee Golden Tigers and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network is a community-based radio station that was established in 2002. We have been dedicated to local, regional, and community programming with coverage for high school, collegiate sports, ministries, and information. Our goal is to provide quality, productive, and positive programming that reflects the community that we serve. Visit our website, ktorradio.com and OBN-Radio.com.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and want to remind you that if you are in the Prairie View community, the city limits of Prairie View, you can check us out at 87.9 FM all day, every day, or you can check us out on TuneIn. TuneIn is at Open Mic Broadcast Network, just as our Facebook page is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. The spelling, I should say, is OPEN capital MIC. That is all one word, Open Mic Broadcast Network. And, of course, don't forget to visit our websites at OBN-Radio.com and KTORradio.com. As we have been discussing about the MEAC and the SWAC, and just finished up last segment about the Tigers. Now we're going to flip over and talk about another Tiger, but this one is considered a golden Tiger, if you will. The Tuskegee Golden Tigers of the SIAC will have their season kickoff here momentarily, and those games will be heard exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we are truly, truly excited about the newly appointed athletic director, Coach Slater, and head football coach, as they will get ready to indulge into the season and got a very intriguing schedule laying ahead. They're going to be taking on Alabama State and Jackson State of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and that's going to be some very intriguing matchups here of recent history. Tuskegee has not backed down to any would-be opponents. They've had some great success. They've had success under the likes of Rick Cummings, who is now with Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, and also under current coach Willie Slater. So it's going to be very intriguing to watch these games and see how they unfold, and remind you that you can listen live each week for Tuskegee football kicking off this 2017 campaign. And that would be, of course, at OBN-Radio.com. You go to the broadcast line page and click on Channel 2, and that game will be in its entirety. And don't forget, if you miss any of that live, you will always have the opportunity to go back and listen to the rebroadcast through the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And we're truly, truly excited about that. We're excited that Panthers football camp is about to kick off this coming Wednesday. It's going to be August 3rd, kicking off at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons and the Panthers getting ready to get their preparations for the 2017 edition of the Labor Day Classic. And, of course, we'll be out there giving you weekly reports on how the workouts are unfolding, get a chance to hear from Coach Simmons as we get closer and closer toward kickoff. We also have another big interview scheduled with the athletic director. I want to call these guys coaches all the time, but they are coaches of the department, and that is none other than athletic director, Vice President Ashley Robertson. So we'll get a chance to further dig deeper into the world of Panthers athletics and everything else abroad. I want to remind you yet again about our volleyball show called The Dig. We have one more release of our coaches. We've been interviewing our coaches throughout the course of this summer. Has been very, very receptive, and we cannot wait where we can give you all the insides and what's going on in the world of volleyball. Their season kicks off August 25th, And that's going to be some very intriguing and intense competition, if you will, on the volleyball court. And don't forget, each and every Thursday we'll have a new show for you to highlight the coaches. We have them all lined up, and they're ready to go. We're going to have player interviews, recaps from the conference, and everything else that's involved. And we're truly thankful and excited about that opportunity to get everything in place. And don't forget, speaking of being in place, August 21st, we will have our preseason football show from Waller, Texas, and that will be at the Waller County Line Barbecue in Waller, Texas, beginning from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We will have all of our local high school coaches representing from Waller High School, from Hempstead High School, from Rose Hill Christian High School, and of course we'll have Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons in the house. I have run out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining in with us on this Monday morning recap. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Remember, our low-tech app is simply locking in the phone number, 605-477-5066. Don't forget, we'll have the release of the MEAC Media Day show later on today. Matter of fact, in a couple hours, you'll be able to listen to it through its entirety. And don't forget, you can listen to that and the SWAC Media Day on our TuneIn app, and that is Open Mic Broadcast Network. I am out of time. I've got to get out of here, but as always, you continue to live your life to the fullest and understand that there's only one you, and can't nobody beat you at being you. Until the next time, you be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.